We like to party. We like to party.
Of course, the screen's doing robot for us right now.
The Venga bus is coming.
We totally
New
worked
York
this
to
out
San
before.
Francisco, an intercity disco. That something lights are burning and something else is turning. I don't know all the words, but I love the song and still it's awesome. Yeah. All right. So hopefully everything's working all right. Hopefully
way
nothing's
too much for that.
broken. We probably did. You know, it's party songs. We're supposed to be moving for party songs.
That's the most fun I've had
I
all
think.
week.
And then, yeah, if it turns into it's going to end up looking like the robot, then I guess it's just going to have to look like the robot.
Sound
So,
good?
yeah, these are the ways that it goes. So,
I'm only here for the glasses.
that's probably a good point. So, they're pretty cool. Yeah. With the bucket hat, you look like the guy from Wheatus.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know what I look like. I might look like the guy from Counting Crows. Yeah, because he's got the rainbow version. Yeah, Crystal's singing it with me. We like to party. We like. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so we'll sing a lot of songs today. I have no idea if this hat is just going to cause my my computer camera to just completely buzz out, but we're going to give it a shot. So
I
this
can't
is.
see a thing.
I know. I figured.
So.
Yeah. So I look good. But yeah,
fashion.
it certainly is. But yes, this would be the hat that I won at World of Fun because they couldn't guess my age.
I've seen that hat there.
I saved $8 by handing her $3 to have her figure out that she didn't know my age, or whatever the math is. This would have been a $12 hat.
Away from on either side?
Within 5. No, I think age was only like within 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
You have to get within 3. Wow.
Yeah, and she was 12 years off. Yeah, she was. Well, I was also with the younger, like I was also with kids young enough to be my children.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like the only one. But I was dressed the same as them and everything. So yeah, it was Crystal or. Yeah, I think it might have been Caitlin's bachelorette. I forget. I don't know. Whatever it was a bunch of Caitlin's friends.
It was
I
a
went
party.
with. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a good time. And so I got a party hat out of it. So like I said, I paid $3 to have her tell my age incorrectly, and I won it. So
I think you won twice with that.
I think I did. I was pretty proud. Well, it was funny because even the girls were like, oh, "You should do age. She's never gonna get it." Like, oh, I love you guys. All right, let's do it. And it's a very high five thing.
I
and
could
not to
totally
brag,
see you
like,
winning that.
But the
for
thing
sure.
is, like, some people they're young, and then one day it all cracks. I don't know. That might happen someday, or it might not. That'd be cool if it didn't.
I think music sort of levels that out a bit.
I think so. I hope it helps.
Yeah.
You know. So, but anyway,
And you sing all
let's
the
see.
time.
Yeah, that's true. 2 minutes in. Welcome to Julia Pop. Today
That was
we're
2
talking.
minutes.
That was totally 2. 3 minutes now. It's 3
Okay,
minutes
all
now.
right,
Yeah.
all
So,
right, so,
but welcome to our episode on
Moving
party
along.
songs. We'll see if this works. Like normally when I have hair here, like I'll pin it back. I don't know. Maybe I'll tie it back so I can see what the heck I'm doing because like.
Is that bothering you?
It is a little bit, yeah. Like I mean that's working. I still have my radio insanity, and I have the little ones on the back here that are sitting the way I want them to.
It actually
sit.
looks like that's how it's supposed to.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what
like
it was
it's a
meant to be.
pontiff's hat. Like, am I not like the Pope of Squidward or something?
Octopontiff.
Octopontiff. Yes, that's got to be what I am. So yeah. So. Yeah, the Church of Squid. I don't know. I'm not sure, but whatever it is. No,
I mean, we gotta be careful. We don't want to be starting a whole new.
No, Julia Pop. We'll just leave it at that. But yes, we're talking.
The
We're
cult
going.
page is
I promise you,
somewhere
we
else.
will get into the theme, and the theme is party songs. So I had a whole lot of fun putting a playlist together. I'm going to keep adding to the playlist. I might make you a YouTube playlist later on. I don't know. Of course, if you stick around until the top of the hour, I make the announcement of what next week's episode is going to be, and hope that you'll join me for that as well. So welcome to all of you watching. Those of you watching, I do highly encourage to chip in on the comments part of the screen. I try to read your comments as often as I can so you can be part of the conversation. I love to hear your opinions about it, and that's exactly what the whole concept of Julia Pop is. We just want to talk, have fun discussions about pop culture, and today it's party songs. So with no further ado,
I'm
let's get
so
into it.
afraid I'm not going to know like half of these.
Oh, you'll be surprised.
Okay,
You'll be surprised.
all right.
So you know how it goes. I have like an educational history of, and then we go into the stuff that we know and love. So I'm going to try to get that balance in. I'm trying to dial it in as best I can.
Okay.
So party songs, the origin and the history. So I'm going to state some really obvious stuff. Music is entertainment. Music is a hobby. It's something that we do for fun. I think in the Bible it says that music is a fair and glorious gift of God, whatever God. And
it makes sense.
And
it's a
as
very
we're
wise
doing
thing
religious
to say.
stuff, apparently at this point, all religions have something where they talk about the importance of music, and so it is something
That's cool.
it is something that we as humans enjoy. It's something that we've discovered. So with that in mind, some of the earliest recorded music notation, written notation, were on Greek vases. They would have they would show pictures of a cuneiform that was meant to be music and dancers next to it, showing that people like to party even from the times of prehistory.
Right.
So,
was the like a sheet music?
it has a version of it, but it's not the kind of sheet music that we know now. It's basically a set of symbols that they kind of figured out what the symbol. Oh, this is music that we're looking at.
I am
So yes,
trying
lots
to
of different
divert
symbolic
us
things.
so hard from this.
I get that. I get that. So, but
I don't mean to.
But every generation from the beginning of humanity has had some way to celebrate with a noise, make a joyful noise, so to speak. And so that's kind of where the party song came from. Of course, we fast forward into the 1500s, the Renaissance era, and we have our rock star. I've mentioned it before, Henry VIII. One of my friends actually posted a hilarious cartoon about Henry VIII. What if instead of paying attention to all Henry VIII's political craziness and being married to 6 wives, what if we talked about how talented, legitimately talented a musician and songwriter he was? Because he was.
What?
Yes. Henry VIII was
Seriously,
I know.
I didn't know.
And so,
I've watched so many
So
periods.
this cartoon is what if that's all he was known for? Is he was a rock star.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So, and he's known for something else? No, of course not. No, not at all.
So he must have killed at parties.
Oh, he did. He 100% did. In fact, the best known song that is still, and the thing is, since he was to be king, the songs he wrote were taken down. And so to this day, we have the melody and the lyrics of a few of his songs. There's a booklet you can get. Yes.
Yeah.
And so the one that gets used probably the most often at Renaissance festivals is called Pastime with Good Company. It's partying. It's a party song because he was a party boy. So that's one of the earliest ones that I know how to sing. Pastime with good company, I love and shall until I die. Yes, and so, yes, exactly. It has that right vibe. And so, and so then, of course, through into the Baroque era, which is later than that, you have your court dances. So something that we do when we're at the Oklahoma Renaissance Festival, we do some really cool Black Almain. We do Heartskis is another one that we do. And so we have all these names of all these lovely court dances that have been done for hundreds upon hundreds of years. And they came from that general area of medieval into Renaissance into Baroque and on. And so with our party music, we had party dancing. So the minuet, the waltz, ballroom dancing, and also regional older dances. So things like the mazurka, the polonaise, Celtic dances, tribal dances, square dances even. All of it
I love that this is all documented and recreated.
Yeah. And that's part of the fun is when we are able to go back and see that. And this is what I'm trying to do is show how it connects to what we do even today. When we go to a dance, when we go to the homecoming dance to prom, whatever it is that we go to.
You mean stand on either side up against the wall with our phones? That's
Yeah. And then somebody gets brave because it's their jam that just came on and they'll dance to it. So it's,
You know what I heard? It's kind of sad, but the kids these days are afraid to dance at parties and at dances because they know that they are going to be videotaped.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the don't give a F that has to happen. When you're a teenager, sometimes you really, really give a F about what other teenagers think of you. Yeah, Crystal, let me see that Tootsie Roll. Yeah, it's on my list somewhere.
I just think for these coming generations, that's a
for sure.
thing.
Yeah, and I think it's been that way for at least a generation.
You just have to live thinking everybody sees me always.
Well, yeah, and when you think about that one guy who was on the video and he was kind of a large guy and was dancing, and someone was trying to shame him, and then hundreds upon hundreds of girls are like, no, you come dance with me, you come dance with me. And it was like they held an entire party So all of these girls that were like, no, honey, you dance. I don't care your size. I don't care what this other
do not
horrible lady is trying to say.
Stop a person from dancing. It's
Oh,
dangerous.
so speaking of, I forgot to show that I am wearing my Keith Haring shirt because he wrote, or he would make art of lots of dancers. So look at everybody boogieing down at the Statue of Liberty. So I do love Keith Haring. He did a bunch of that. So yes, I did make sure I wore a thematic shirt, and yours is just Kool-Aid Man busting through walls.
It's always a party.
It's fine, yeah.
Party,
yeah, I think so. It's a
Kool-Aid
party
mixes
drink.
with
Oh,
everything.
yeah, it's a party drink for sure. So, what are the reasons that we have party music? It is to celebrate happy birthday being what it is. It's a party song. Let's just admit to that. Fellowship. It's us getting together, like we were talking about, and it's giving us a chance to dance together. And dance and music go together, and so that's where it comes from. Now, I thought a lot when I decided on this topic about what makes a party song a party song. Do the lyrics have to be about partying? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no, is what I've discovered. So because a song that I was just singing, like, we like to party. But a song like Tootsie Roll will get everybody on the dance floor, but it's about a girl who can roll her hips. So, what I discovered is there are a few different lyrical tropes.
It's kind of a dance move song.
For sure. Yes. And so
Tootsie Roll.
but and the thing is it's an encouragement to dance, but it's also got like kind of, flirty, sexy kind of thing. So the main lyrical tropes that I came up with, it's a party vibe. Get the party started on a Saturday night, and so she's talking about going out on a party. Drinking, inebriation, lots of, let's see. Cheers to the weekend. Cheers to the freaking weekend. Yes. So it has drinking is in there a lot. Flirting, romance, girls. Baby Got Back. That's a jam. People are getting on the dance floor and singing along to that. So
I love that weed's not on the list because, no, it's not a party. It's just like
no, I mean, I haven't gotten
because then we'd have to get into Snoop and all that.
No,
stuff.
but that's why I say
Jan.
That's why I said drinking and inebriation.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's in there.
so
right.
that is part of the So
because there's got to be other drugs too, right? That are like in
probably
the party songs.
probably. Yeah. But the thing is, and that Crystal and I can verify, you do all of those items are not required. If you just love the music and love to dance, you can be as straight edge as you want to be. We're
just talking about the lyrics within the songs.
Yes, that's
all,
what they're talking about. Yes, and so there's
not condoning
there
that
are
sort of
yes, so there are still other topics, but pretty much everything is party adjacent, party attached.
I'm condoning that.
Yes, exactly. So, and then the majority of song structures were very simple, very fun, very playful. Most times in a major key, so a major key is very happy, whereas the minor key is a little bit sadder whenever we listen to it. It's usually memorable. It's usually catchy. You have it stuck in your head for weeks later, and that's just what keeps you in your good mood. It can be a mood changer, like if you're not in a great mood, but then you hear a song, and then suddenly you're excited about it again. And so it just really can lift your spirits. Now, a little side note before I start getting into what I did is I decided I would block it all up by decades so we could talk a little bit about all the different party songs within the separate decades. So, but I did want to, as a side note, to make out a small list of what I call the party people performers.
Okay.
The majority of the songs that these people do are party songs about partying, dance songs. It has kind of a pattern.
I think it works. Like if they were a party band and then had a like the saddest ballad.
Oh, sure. Power ballads exist.
And
there's some and there's somebody
and
there are two people on here that I'm going to mention that about.
Okay.
So, first of all, let's take it back to the 1900s. Yeah. Scott Joplin did ragtime music, and ragtime music was the party time music. So he was known for a whole bunch of different Maple Leaf Rag, The Entertainer, some really amazing stuff, and it was party music. Because it was upbeat, it was happy, it made people get up and dance. Chubby Checker is another one. He did the twist, but he also did Let's Twist Again. I don't remember who did the peppermint twist, but I'm sure he did one of them too. Like every couple of years, he'd come back with some dance.
A twist always, though, wasn't it? Was it always twist?
Yeah. And you know what?
And was it always the same?
And you know, one of the other times that he made it onto the charts, the Fat Boys decided to do the twist.
Yeah.
So they got Chubby Checker to join them again, and he made the charts again. So so he's kind of that guy.
That guy was the record label's dream, though.
Yeah.
Like, he had a theme and stuck with it.
And can come back. And can come back every so often. Yes, Gary Gordon Goff, welcome to you.
Hey.
Major key. Yep. Amen. That is absolutely correct. So, other party bands.
That's like a trilogy right there.
I love that. I love that. So, other groups, Casey and the Sunshine Band. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake your booty. And theirs is always, I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm here to do. And
that's
so
a different song,
it was,
right?
yes,
But,
yes.
But totally.
But it was flirty, and it was making people dance. And so they had a huge
very much their
bunch of
theme,
yes.
too.
And so there's a nice little example. Casey and the Sunshine Band did a song called Please Don't Go, and it was kind of a ballad, but they remixed into dance, and then it got popular. And people wanted to dance to it. So Donna Summer is another example. She's done some ballads too, but she was a disco queen. I Feel Love. She works hard for the money. It was kind of into the 80s, but she had the dance music. So, and another one we're going to talk about at length, who I've been lucky enough to meet, who my children both love very much. His name is Andrew W.K. He has probably at least a dozen songs that just have party in the title. Majority of the songs that he does are about partying, and we'll get to that one later as well.
And he parties hard in a completely different way.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go.
And hi, Dad. By the way,
luckily,
Gary Gordon.
hi,
Dad.
We have an expert in our midst because he's going to name all the names of the people that did these songs. Joey D and the Starlighters did the Peppermint Twist.
Oh my God!
I know. See, this is going to be super helpful for me, and I love it. So another one of the bands a little further forward into the timeline, LMFAO.
Yeah.
Party sorry for party rockin'. And I'm totally wearing the right hat for that.
That song took over holidays.
Party rock. Yeah.
Remember
party
the
rock
Halloween or the decorated houses? It was a Halloween one too, right? And then there was also the Christmas one. And it's like with the, I mean, their marketing was done for them.
And so they put out 2 entire albums. Pretty much everything on the album was about partying. Oh, well, sexy, and I know it, but he's come to party. So that's what he does. And then, Chris, and see, look at this. We've got dueling experts. Crystal said the Peppermint Twist was by Joey D and the Starlighters. I'll read it to you. You don't have to read it yourself. I got you covered, friend. I know, I got you covered. But two of the people that I have on this list who have a whole lot of party songs, but also do great ballads, Lady Gaga, because Million Reasons. Like, isn't that one of the best, like, most amazing Shallow, some of the most amazing ballads, but she's also responsible for Just Dance and Poker Face and Paparazzi and Bad Romance and all of those fantastic dance songs. And the same thing happened with Kesha.
Bad Romance.
Yes.
I love that one.
Kesha, TikTok, We Are Who We Are, all of those. Blow. Like, she has done some amazing stuff.
Kesha.
But then she also does the beautiful ballad that made me cry the first time I heard it, Praying. But most of what she does is dance heavy. And then, so people can dip into that. It doesn't have to be the only thing they do, but they become known for it over time. So let's take it all the way back. 100 plus years ago, we're going to cover in a very short kind of paragraph type thing, the 1900 to the 1920s. And that's always the joke now. It's like, I was born in the 1900s. And we were, technically. But like, we think of that as being 1900, whatever, right? 1902.
Yeah.
So that's the decade, 1900s. The 1910s and the 1920s. So during this time period, what appears is the jazz age, the foxtrot, ragtime dancing, and Scott Joplin is a big part of that. So the ragtime had a dance to it. Yes, and Crystal makes a great point too. Pink does the same thing. She's got party songs, she has ballads, and both of them are amazing.
A lot of pop stars are
they
and
are
it's
a
in that
diversity.
vein.
You don't just kind of stay in the one lane. You can, if you have a talent and a wish to write those kind of songs, you can.
But in the club, they got to keep the party ones going. They can do the ballads on stage, right?
Exactly, sure.
Remember,
sure, and then they become radio hits. They get really
Bridge,
big.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to keep the spiritual stuff,
I mean, I liked Graffiti Bridge, but that's
I
just me.
love that
Yes,
movie.
and so Clive says the legend of 1900. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So now, remember at this time, in the 1920s, alcohol became illegal, so partying was very tricky to do. So you've got your speakeasies, and you've got your moonshine, and then you end up having songs and stories about that. And when people go to party, they need some music. And so the jazz age, foxtrot, ragtime, and you have songs like Charleston, 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 made in Carolina.
I'm just going with it.
And then Putting on the Ritz. It's not just a song from the 80s that Taco did. Yes, if you're blue and you know where to go to, why don't you go where
my feet aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, by the way.
Putting on the Ritz, but your arms are.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, I think you got that. And then Sweet Georgia Brown, the song that you always hear when the Harlem Globetrotters play, because they're over 100 years, their group is over 100 years old. They aren't. But yeah, Sweet Georgia Brown. Ain't misbehaving, ain't she sweet? I see you walking down the street. So as you can see, songs about going out, songs about partying, songs about dance, songs about girls that they want to flirt with. So that was that gap of time. So as we enter into the 1930s and the 1940s, of course, we have the Great Depression. So they legalize alcohol again, but huge downturn in the economy. People are pretty broke. So having a happy song to ease the sadness, songs like Smile, that was written by Charlie Chaplin, and other things like that. So then swing music. That's where the energy came from. And it went from the 30s well into the 40s. Of course, one of my favorite offshoots of swing is Western swing. And one of the big guys from that was Bob Wills. And he played all throughout Texas and Oklahoma and actually became nationally famous, was on a lot of TV shows and things like that. Cab Calloway, howdy, 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 ho. See, you know, exactly. It's that call and response. And so Minnie the Moocher, being one of the big songs. And so other big band music like Sing, 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 like Jump and Jive. Yep, Crystal says Taco putting on the Ritz. He's the one that did it in the 80s that I love that version. And there's been a remix since then that I really love, and I hope I added it. If I haven't added it to the dance music playlist, I will try to get that added. And then, of course, It Don't Mean a Thing. You fit ain't got that swing. Do-up, 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 do-up. So, yes, that joy that comes with it, that's some party music. Yeah. That's some joy music. And so during wartime, as the war started to catch on, we needed entertainment to keep our minds occupied, to keep people thinking positive thoughts until we could get our people home to celebrate. And then, of course, once they got home to celebrate, lots of music, lots of partying. And then you have songs like Glenn Miller Orchestra's and The Mood. Here's a funny one, Caledonia. This was a side story. Stephen, when he was recommending a nice little ballad for me to be able to sing, because I wanted to feature my voice in Roddy and Jules, like a pretty song. And he's like, how about Caledonia? I'm like, you mean the jazz song, Caledonia, What Makes Your Big Head So Hard by Louis Jordan? He's like, what are you talking about? No, I'm talking about the Celtic song, Listen. And I'm like, oh, why are you hipping me to the Celtic song and I'm hipping you to the jazz song? And I played him Caledonia by Louis Jordan. He's like, yeah, that's a great song. So it was a very weird crossed wire. But yes, Caledonia, the Louis Jordan version, is a big time dance music, and I love it. And of course, we got the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, and we also have Benny Goodman's. Yep. See, Benny Goodman's orchestra, Glenn Miller's orchestra, Tuxedo Junction was very popular. And then also there was kind of that little swing in of Western. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, as I go riding merrily along.
It's all dancing.
Say, oh, aren't you glad you're single? And the truth ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, yeah. So, and then that one, of course, is about you meet a girl and then, oh, I'm not going to stay with her, and then I'm going to keep going merrily along. So, and then, of course, we had some fantastic female voices at that point as well. The Andrews sisters and their harmonies were very danceable, and Ella Fitzgerald could just keep up, bebop with the rest of them, and made some really danceable music as well. So now, we skip ahead to the 1950s. We're in peacetime. We've got ourselves a baby boom, and this is the rise of the teenager. Of course, teenagers existed, but teenagers is an entire, like, marketable concept really hit with baby boomers. Yeah. And so we didn't really start calling generations what we call them now until right about that time. Wow. When the baby boom happened, we started looking back at all the other generations and labeling them. Like, you know, there was, of course, the lost generation was really the only one that got really labeled. And that was because of F. Scott Fitzgerald in the 1920s, that kind of stuff. So, and yes, and Crystal says, I remember my grandma watching the Glenn Miller Orchestra. I actually got to be in a show, the Bobby Vinton show. He had the Glenn Miller Orchestra with him. So the Glenn Miller Orchestra continued with Bobby Vinton as their band leader.
Oh, wow. And you were in it?
And I was backup. I was like, just kind of singing backup and dancing backup in the background because we had a Christmas show, and so for 44 shows, 44 days, 44 shows, I forget, but whatever it was, I spent that Christmas season, and I got to dance a polka, and I got to, you know, kind of sway back and forth and sing a couple little backup songs. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I wasn't actually in the Glenn Miller Orchestra; I was just near them.
You were like in the chorus.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. So yes, and so into the 50s, like I said, the rise of the teenager, and of course, we talked a little bit about dance crazes in the 20s, like the Charleston. The 50s had a whole bunch of them. They had the hand jive, the stroll, the bunny hop, the Madison, the bop. And so a lot of these got shown on a little show called American Bandstand. Hopefully someday I may actually have an entire episode just about that show because it covered so many generations for so many people. It was important to me because I got to see and hear, I got to see the fashions of the 70s and 80s. I got to listen to the songs that were in. And Dick Clark, he's your older uncle, taking good care of you, right? And everybody, multiple generations. Multiple generations can say that. And so they introduced us to plenty of party songs and made me want to go to a dance, that's for sure. But in the 50s, American Bandstand was coming up. And so you have songs like Rock Around the Clock, Tutti Frutti, At the Hop by Danny and the Juniors, Come Go With Me, Great Balls of Fire, Blue Suede Shoes, Tequila. And so, wait, a song about drinking, wait, what? And then, of course, Shake, Rattle, and Roll. And so a lot of those songs, like Rock Around the Clock, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, it's about dancing at the hop, because you're at the dance. And then, of course, Come Go With Me is like, yeah, be with me, so it's romantic. And then, exactly. So songs about love, songs about lust, songs about, flirtation, all that kind of stuff. But then also songs about let's get up and dance.
They're trying to bring people together in whatever way, you know.
Yeah, and that was the thing is how many people from that generation have a story of I met your mother at the dance, Back to the Future, at the Fish Under the Sea dance. No, it was the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
Right.
It's that.
Oh man, the pressure. Yeah. And during those times for those dances coming up, I might meet my spouse.
Yep. And so Crystal said, I did a dance to the stroll in dance class when I was in the 6th grade. See, she was learning how to do all these classic things. Yeah. Cool. So we move forward into the 60s. Now, even though we had a counterculture revolution at that point, it wasn't at the beginning of the 60s necessarily. So at the beginning of the 60s, we had dance crazes, like the twist, the pony, the mashed potato. With mashed potatoes, like you move your little feet like you're mashing potatoes with your feet. And then the pony is, Yeah. All right.
That was back
then.
then.
The twist
is
your twist. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And then of course the swim. Yeah, and then no, not that one. That's a different one.
But that's so close.
It's no, it's supposed to be.
It's literally like from the old movies.
Yes.
Comedy.
Yeah, and you just go back and forth. You just go back and forth with the hands like that. Yeah, all that's the pony. And then and then you do the swim, right? And you do one at a time, and then you do the little So the swim was the thing. The jerk. And then this is very fruit-like because there's the jerk and the fruit, and they're very, very close to each other. Why do I know this much about dance moves from before I was born? But then you have the monkey, right? Or you're running
the jerk and the monkey all reminds me of laughing.
That's yes. They were doing all of those moves. So that is that counterculture glory.
Goldie Hawn.
Yep, 100%. Those are the dance moves. And they had songs for each and every one. And then, of course, we had classics like Dancing in the Street, The Locomotion, which wasn't even a dance, but they just wrote it as a song because Locomotion, the word sounded cool. And then they got their babysitter to sing it, and Little Eva became a huge star.
That remix by, what was the Australian song?
Kylie Minogue.
Oh, my God. That was such a smash hit. And she was so
young and so cute when it happened. And it was massive MTV hit as well. So yes, but that's later as well. And of course we have classics like Twist and Shout, which the Beatles later covered. And then we have Shout, You Know You Make Me Want. Yes, and then of course Land of a Thousand Dances. They name most of the ones that I've named.
Okay.
And then James Brown, I Feel Good. Yes, and Marvin Gaye, for as much as everybody knows. Oh, indeed. And so and then Marvin Gaye, while being known for some politically active type of things and like Hurt Through the Grapevine, he did a lot of really great dance music as well, and people don't always remember that.
I don't picture. I can't picture.
Yeah. So he's Got to Give It Up being one of the big ones that kind of came out in the late 60s into the early 70s, and that was the one that got kind of borrowed from for Blurred Lines.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't agree. It had a bit of a rhythm similarity, but one's in a minor key and one's in a major key. Or it's like there was a not minor major. It was one of them was in a different mode than the other.
Okay.
So when you played them on top of each other, it clashed. Like I listened to them clash it, and it was horrible.
Weird.
Yeah, but they still got sued, and they still ended up winning. So yes, and then of course in the 60s we also had the Beach Boys and Surfing USA. You want to talk about the swim? That was happening quite a bit as well, and that was definitely considered party music. And then, like I said, the Beatles to a point were considered party music, but then when they got it more experimental, it was less so much. So so they're worth danceable. It. Yeah, some of the songs are worth it in the context. Like I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Oh
totally.
Yeah.
Of course, they did Twist and Shout and other dance tunes because when they were a cover band, they wanted the people to dance. So, of course, they certainly knew how to do dance songs.
Yeah, I mean, at school dances and stuff, probably the band was playing those Beatles songs.
Yes, yeah, the upbeat.
At the concerts, there was no dancing, just.
There was, but it was usually just screaming and fainting. It was literal hysteria. Like, maybe we'll do a Beatles show and we'll talk about Beatlemania and how weird and insane that was. That said from the girl who's a complete Beatlemaniac, but hey, no biggie. So moving into
singular Paul maniac.
I do. I like them all. Let's be fair. All 4 Beatles have worthy things and worthy songs.
But we don't know how you would feel about the Beatles if Paul had not been in the band.
Now that is some weird yesterday movie stuff that I don't even want to think about. Yeah.
Right. What if the hoax was real?
Yeah. And if it was, that means that John Lennon is just some fisherman who's retired off the coast of Ireland somewhere.
John Lennon is now Paul.
It's weird. And I don't even know if they figured out what happened to that actual Paul. I don't even know. That movie was great. It was mind-blowing. It's worth seeing. But my God, suspend your disbelief. Just get ready. And then Crystal said, songs from Grease played at my school dances. Yes, to this very day. When they break out the Grease songs, a 70s show about 50s music, and today people are dancing.
Bohemian Rhapsody too.
Oh yeah. Well, and the thing is I don't think of that, but I don't think of that as much of a party song.
No.
Even though if you played it at a party, people would lose their minds.
Wayne's World made it at a party.
Yeah, but they would sing along to it. Like, I do this during the heavy part, but other than that, you don't really dance to it because it does. It's a ballad.
Me and all my friends got out on the dance floor for that one.
Oh no, I get that. I totally understand that can be considered, and that's the thing. Where's the line? What do you call a party song and what do you do not?
It was more like all sing along than a.
Yeah. So it depends on what you think of as a party song. Yeah. So Crystal says, "You're the one that I want," for example. Yes, that one was a classic. Summer Nights was another one that really hit big. And of course, Willie and the Hand Jive was in there. So, and then of course we have the 1970s. We move forward. And so at this point, things are becoming more diverse. With that counterculture revolution, we have voices that are being heard that hadn't been heard quite as much at that point. So voices of people of color, LGBTQ plus community, Latino influences. And so the popularity of salsa starts to come in, and disco becomes in and reigns supreme. And of course we have the Bee Gees, Saturday Night Fever, that entire soundtrack head to toe. It's about a guy who goes to the dance, who goes out to party all the time. And then of course songs like Boogie Wonderland in September by Earth, Wind and Fire, another very funky band that could really get you dancing. Casey and the Sunshine Band I mentioned before. Freak out. Let freak, say shake, freak out. And then what do they sing about? Just come on down. 254. Find yourself out on the floor. And it's about getting out and dancing at Studio 54.
And you get played at the club tons because you've done it.
And the dance craze didn't end there. We have the hustle, the bump, the bus stop, the robot, which we were doing earlier.
Yeah, it's more the screen.
But I'll tell you, one of the ones that did it the best was Michael Jackson when they did a little song called Dance Machine. And they talk about somebody who can really dance. Ha, it's a party song. What do you know? And then, of course, the Funky Chicken and the Electric Slide. One of the big bands that I didn't mention earlier, maybe should have, was the Village People, YMCA, Macho Man. Yes, and Crystal brings up one that actually, fun thing about that one, Celebration by Kool and the Gang actually came out in 1980. People think of it as a 70s song, but it really came out in 1980. I actually have a single. That was the thing I could have done for show and tell. I have a couple of 45s of some of these songs. And if I had remembered, I would have grabbed those. I'll just do pictures of them throughout the week. So, cool. But yes, so Celebration came out was released as a single in 1980. So we'll talk about that one in the 80s for sure. But Village People, like I said, they did YMCA, Macho Man. They did a song called San Francisco and a song called Hollywood. Of course, Sister Sledge did We Are Family, Disco Inferno by the Tramps, Brick House. And again, what are we singing? What are we singing about?
Just letting it all hang out.
Ow, the Commodores. And Brick House. And that was the thing, is like those songs, we're talking about a hot girl who can dance, right? And then Crystal says, has that 70s feel for sure. So yeah, it was right there on the break from 79 into 80. And so, of course, I mentioned Dancing Machine, the Jackson 5. And then when Michael went solo, he had a little album called Off the Wall. And that whole album has some great stuff. And one of my favorite all-time dance songs is Rock With You. So again, he's appealing to a girl.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
He's appealing to a girl. But it's one of my favorite roller skating songs. With you, do all night, dancing in the sunlight, and then the lyrics, the harmonies of it all. I'm probably going to say fighting words here, and people can fight me on it. It's fine. I like the album Off the Wall better than Thriller.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I can't believe I said that out loud, but yes, I do. But yes, I absolutely do. And there's something about everything, head to toe, on that. The production quality that the Quincy Jones put to it, everything that Michael
and
put
into
it.
that like swirling, fluty type thing.
Yes, such good stuff. Yes, and then don't stop till you get enough. Come on. So yes, so Michael Jackson was definitely a big part of that. And then of course one of the other ones I probably should have mentioned sooner as well would be ABBA. My friends mentioned it when I was actually acting it up as well. And then Crystal says she also likes Jackson 5's ABC.
Oh yeah.
Easy was 1, 2, 3. Oh, I would dance to that. I would dance to that at the record store for sure. So I was not afraid to dance at the record store when I felt the need. It was a 10,000 square foot store. If I needed to bust a move, I'd bust a move. I was not scared.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm fearless that way. And in so many other ways not. But yes, so then ABBA, Dancing Queen is a huge one that gets mentioned, but my friend Casey does not like Dancing Queen, but instead likes things like Gimme, 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 Mamma Mia. My personal favorite was a song called Does Your Mother Know? It's a bit, the lyrics are interesting, but it's definitely him saying, no, little girl, step away, you're too young to be on the dance floor right now. So it's a bit of a dodgy lyric, but it's not him being like, she's just 15 years old. That's none of that. It's none of that. No, he's very like, you can dance with me, honey, if you think it's funny, but does your mother know that you're out? And it's like, and so it's like, dodgy. You can dance with me, you can dance with me maybe, but take it easy, take it easy.
I'm still going to send you home to your mom.
Yes, it's like, that was cute that you're dancing, now go home. Yes. So at least, I think he had but I think he had the right idea. Like, because like when you're a rock star, you kind of get approached in ways that you're like, no, child, go home.
Yeah.
And some people did not say those words, unfortunately. But that is a whole other thing that I'm not even going to do an episode on. But then we did have some rock and roll, some things like old time rock and roll. Play that funky music. It's actually more of a rock tune when you listen to it. It's not as funky, but it's got some funk. It's got a song,
by the way, live.
But it's got a funk feel, but it's a rock and roll song.
Yeah, but that's
my argument there.
That's my dad's signature, like karaoke, that he would pull that one. Yeah,
very good. Yeah, and then speaking of funky songs that were fun to dance to and party songs, Superstition. Very superstitious.
We can just stop the list right there.
I suppose we can, but we have to keep going. Live DJ in all of these cases in this time period, the live DJ became the star. Like, he knew how to roll the tunes. He knew how to get the crowd going. He knew what to see. If he saw the crowd was kind of starting to flag, he'd pick a song and people would be out on the floor. Now, at this time, believe it or not, punk was still very danceable. If you go back and listen to the Ramones' first couple of albums, even pretty much all of them, you can get up and dance to those. And it wasn't that far out of place for them to be played at a dance club. So songs like Blitzkrieg Bop and I Want to Be Sedated. Then you have a band like Blondie. Blondie is a punk band, but they did reggae songs, but they did pop songs. Heart of Glass and Tide is High played in the dance clubs.
It was like a disco bleed over on those songs.
Yep, exactly. And Crystal saw a TikTok of a girl grossed out by Hot Child in the City. She was valid to me. Yes, if you go back and listen to some of those songs, it's like, oh no.
No.
Yeah, and I was listening to them when I was the age, possibly when I was the age of the people who were talking about.
They were written about those people's lives during those periods,
Yeah, so I'm glad that these things have changed. Let's just be honest about it. And then, like I said, with Blondie, they were punk, but they mixed a whole bunch of other things because they didn't want to just be stuck into a tiny little box. They wanted to grow their music, and they even did. Blondie was responsible for a song called "Rapture" that came out in '80, I think, that had her rapping because she was hearing people rapping on the streets of New York.
Was it?
And Fab Five? No, do you not remember that? Fab Five Freddy told me everything's fine. DJ Spinning said my mind, but Fab Five Freddy was in the video.
I don't. So it was a stamp that very much when I saw that back then. I'm sorry.
Aw, poor Debbie Harry not getting love from Evan.
For me, it was like Chris Cornell with
but no, she had the
Timbaland.
and like. Basquiat, they were friends with him too, and he's in the video.
Okay.
Like, so she
had
the seal. Yeah, she had the seal of approval, and me and my sister know that whole entire thing like top to bottom.
I didn't like tomatoes then too, so you know.
And things change, tastes change. It's perfectly fine. So let's get into the 80s. We were talking about it. Let's get into it before we run out of time. It was the death of disco, but somehow dance music survived. The advent of hip hop came to the masses. It was existing in the 70s in New York, but then it came to the world. And then the remix was a concept too. So we get moves like the moonwalk, the Running Man, the Cabbage Patch. And then, of course, we have the song, yeah. And then
Roger Rabbit.
Yep. See, you remembered them all. Impressive. See, you know all of it.
Kid and Play.
See, you were a break dancer in training, weren't you? Yep. And so, Celebration by Kool and the Gang, like I brought up before, that's one that oftentimes would start parties. It would start wedding receptions, all kinds of things. Now we. Of course, with that same era, we have the chicken dance.
Yeah,
it's party
song. A category
of
like basically annoying after the first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
party
and that would be one of them. And then, of course, the Cotton Eye Joe had a dance developed as well. And
like
so
if you don't
somebody
dance,
did a modern version, a remix, all of that, and then it came into what we see today.
Chicken dance. If you're not doing, you have to do that for survival, or else you just have to sit there and listen.
That's true. But in the 80s, we have to bring up Prince. He does some fantastic party song stuff. 1999, songs like "I Would Die for You," like fantastic. Just go listen to the whole entire Purple Rain album. There's some other like sad, slow songs. Of course, Purple Rain being one of them. But there's a lot of danceable stuff that he did throughout the 80s. Songs from Controversy, which I think did Controversy come out in the 80s or 70s? I don't know. But if you just listen to Prince, it's all
most of his stuff.
Yes, the Electric Slide does count, and it's the very next thing on my list of where did it go? It's
even When Doves Cry is danceable. It's got that.
Yes, 100%.
Swing.
Yeah, I know the Electric Slide is on here. I just don't know where it is. Yes, but it's on here. So then, of course, we mentioned before, Michael Jackson not only did Off the Wall in the 70s, he did Thriller in the 80s, and that had a ton of music. That was party music, all of it. And so Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun. I think that's because even though she's like, boys get a chance to go out and party, girls should get a chance to as well. So I consider it a party song.
Yeah, that was just the perfect package.
Madonna.
Cyndi Lauper, amazing.
Yes, Madonna when she first got started. She was doing songs like Everybody. I'm singing Everybody by the Backstreet Boys, and it's Everybody. And it's different. It's called Everybody, but it's different. I'll have to add it to the playlist.
I'm not hearing it in my head
now I can't get it back out.
Yeah.
I can't. And then Holiday. And get into the groove. Yes, and so get into the groove. Yes. And so get into the groove. Get into the groove. Yes. And of course,
I was dancing to that jam for sure.
Who wasn't? I think everybody was. And so Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, right? Wham! Wake Me Up Before.
That's a tragic song. I Want to Dance with Somebody.
I know. She's sad. When the night comes, my loneliest. Yeah, calls. I want to dance with somebody. Yes. So anyway, Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go. Classic, fun, 80s. Club Tropicana was another one that they did, which was better known in the UK, but it was a dance tune. Janet Jackson, Escapade. On an escapade.
Rhythm Nation.
And she did other stuff, and the thing is, Rhythm Nation is about let's work together.
Yeah.
But it's all still landed in the dance clubs. Yeah. So, and then of course her choreographer became famous too, and that would be Paula Abdul, and she did songs like Straight Up and Forever You Go.
Such a crush on Paula Abdul.
And Pops at the Track, some classic stuff, very pretty. Now, also at the turn of the 80s, I skipped around a bit. Funky Town by Lip Sync. Is I think what they called it. Funky Town is a classic and gets a lot of people on the dance floor. Now, here's my big argument. Again, I think I'm just here to upset people. All Night Long by Lionel Richie. It's a song about partying. It is it's like a mid-tempo. It's chill.
It's so chill.
It's like, and I get it.
You could ride in an elevator and
those of you that do that thing, I get it. Like, I get it. But it is so chill. And it's funny because when they do the breakdown, I'm like, ooh, this is really going to break into a party song now. And then it backs up to All Night Long. All night.
What's the tempo on that song?
It's below 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not 120
at
all. So, but it's a chill song. And even though it's about partying, is it a party song? I think it is.
I don't know.
I don't add it to my party list.
I don't know how good of a dancer that I picture Lionel Richie to be.
But no, he dances.
I see him more like a saunter.
Yes,
right?
he
so
is.
That
he
would
didn't
work
do a
for
ton
him.
of dancing in his videos. He had other people do it.
All night long. You can get away with a two-step on that. Like the junior high two-step.
Crystal says, I saw a video of Cotton Eye Joe over Thriller Dance, and it totally fits. We'll have to try that next time. Awesome. I don't know when, but we'll have to try it. So yes, and then he also did a song called "Dancing on the Ceiling," which was pretty mid-tempo as well. Sorry, Lionel Richie, back when you were doing Brick House, I was like, yeah, let's jam, get on the dance floor. And other people get on the dance floor for those songs. And I have no hate for you whatsoever, but it's just not my bag. It's just not what I deal. So that was me. Other music that does get me on the dance floor.
That's okay. I can see where you're going with that for sure.
But others that do get me on the dance floor would be David Bowie. Let's Dance. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about Eddie Murphy's ability to sing and how he hung out with Rick James and had a hit song. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. And it had a nice funky beat under it because Rick James produced it. Yeah.
David Bowie wrote songs. His party songs were extended, right? So
sure.
Every single one of his songs were written for a party that he did not want to end.
Yes,
ever.
Crystal says it perfectly. The beat isn't party vibes on All Night Long. See, she's with me.
Yeah.
She's with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course
because some of the songs like Fame and stuff, it just kind of goes on for a while at the end because people
just want to keep moving. Yeah. No, I get that. And so Rick James, who I already mentioned, a little song called Super Freak. A lot of people get on the dance floor for that. And we had a lot of movies. And we had a lot of movies with soundtracks that also could get people dancing, like Footloose, Flashdance, and Breakin', and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. They make you dance. Those whole entire soundtracks are all built for, you just put the soundtrack on and let it go, except for the ballads, some of them have ballads.
You guys some Breakin' and Breakin' 2 might have been my first heroes.
Aw, nice. I like that. And then we also have some things that were a little stranger, a little more out there, like Love Shack by the B-52s, came out in 1988, 89. Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Shout out to Inger, that's one of her favorites that would get her on the dance floor. Depeche Mode, Just Can't Get Enough.
Oh my god. My first concert ever, big concert ever, was Depeche Mode Violator Tour. And I was 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, I bet you were Mr. California. You have access to all this great stuff while I sit in Missouri languishing while my mother only lets me go to Christian concerts. I get it.
I'm sorry. We can talk about that later. We'll deal with that later in therapy.
Okay,
but
it's fine. It's fine.
A Dodger Stadium, the entire place, and everybody was standing up and dancing. We were all
Wait, does
dancing.
that mean that you were in Depeche Mode 101, the video somewhere?
No. But I religiously watched that many times.
I did too. I own that, actually. So.
Violator was after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then Crystal says, when Eddie sings Roxanne, though, not a fan. Yeah, I agree. He does that thing when he's in jail. Was it in Trading Places? Is that the one that... Is that right? I don't remember. You can tell me which movie because Crystal's the expert. But he's in a movie. He's in the movie, and he's in jail in the movie, and he's singing Roxanne.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
and he's doing it really badly.
Is it the one on Wall Street? It's the Wall Street one.
Trading Places.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I was right.
No, it's the Wall Street one.
It's not Wall Street. That's Gordon Gekko and Charlie Sheen.
No, but it's about Wall. It's
I know.
Places,
yeah, it's the guys on Wall Street making bets.
I was trying to go into that bit.
Nice try. All right, so speaking of that kind of first wave type point, one of my favorites to dance to is Yaz, Don't Go, and Situation.
Love Yaz, too.
That's up now. Don't you know? I never
gonna let you go. Don't go!
Yes, I love her. I love her. Alison Moyet is fantastic. And then, of course, we don't mention the 80s. I almost forgot. Beastie Boys, You Gotta Fight.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, Crystal's saying it's 48 hours. She might be right. Yeah, I think it might be 48 hours. I think we were wrong.
Dang it. And he's like,
yeah, I think we were wrong. I think Crystal's right. We can check it later. And then, of course, one of my other favorites from the late 80s, or mid to late 80s, Dead Man's Party, Boingo Boingo. Also a song about parties, but it's about dead people. I put it on every Halloween playlist I have ever put on in my life. Now, we need to jump into the 90s because we do have only 12 minutes and we've got to get through the 90s up to now. So, but the 90s was a fun time too, as hopefully this hat feels very 90s to me, right? Like ridiculous hats that you would wear when you went to a rave.
Sure.
It's 1 a.m. Let's go out to a rave. It's hotter than a microwave. I'm sorry, but I love that music for never having, and don't tell, but I've never actually been to a rave. I don't think I want to. I don't know. Are there bad things happening there?
I've been. It's there's bad.
Can you be straight edge at a rave? I mean, not that I'm fully straight edge, but could you go to a rave straight edge?
You totally could.
Okay.
I mean, and if you can have fun anywhere, then you can.
Yeah.
Just,
but you know what? These days, I feel like I almost want to have like a bodyguard along with me.
I don't know if it would be good now, but back then, yeah, no, they were fun. I didn't go. They always pass
so
those placards out
rave
and
culture
stuff.
really hit hard in the 90s. So it was rolling up in the 80s, but really came to a head in the 90s. And so my
the cover
favorite
charges
bands,
is where they got you. Those kept going up.
I imagine that was very expensive. So so the bands that were my favorites from that point were Big Audio, Dynamite, and Prodigy. Tricky from Massive Attack. So I had a big moment where I was just following a ton of British acts, Soup Dragons, like I was listening to a lot of rock, but also a lot of dance stuff. I love the Soup Dragons. Yeah. I do. And it's funny, I had this weird epic this time, and I don't know, I think I was reading Spin Magazine in college. Because I had a very weird college career. I had like gaps, 3 and 20-year, a 3-year gap and a 20-year gap. And in that time, though, I was listening to a lot of really cool music. And so, Jimmy, welcome to you. Jimmy has officially said that it is 48 hours. Thank you for setting us straight.
All right.
We made the mistake. It's our fault. And luckily, we have people like Jimmy and Crystal to bring us back. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
So it's not the subway scene where he's like...
Now I don't remember. I don't know. I'm sure they'll remind us because they remembered it was in 48 hours, and that's the most important part. I thought it was when
Was it another 40? I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. Oh, you're breaking my stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, in the 90s, of course, then we also had a whole lot of pop that happened with the girl bands and the boy bands. So you had Spice Girls, If You Want to Be My Lover. And again, it's talking about flirting, and we're talking about singing and dancing.
It really felt like there were two different worlds. Like I was in the rock world at that point, and then there was
then I took a hard turn. Yeah, but I was listening to them all.
In the 90s, it was like there was this total separation. NSYNC and Britney and all that's going on at the same time as Nirvana.
I came around late, like I was listening to Backstreet Boys, but I wasn't losing my marbles because it was kind of a generation above. But I appreciated when they put some dance music out. So, of course, the boy bands near the end of the decade, like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. Of course, we have the girls, Britney and Christina, things like Genie in a Bottle and Hit Me Baby One More Time. So those were very danceable. Everybody dance now. Now that was early 90s, and I should have put that at a different location, but that was a big favorite of mine.
Because,
I owned CNC Music Factory on cassette. That entire thing was a bop, man. I would listen to that thing front to back, and I could dance through the house, and I got a whole lot of house cleaning done back then.
When I think of 90s dance music, I think of like Night at the Roxbury or something.
Oh, yes, which I also mentioned. It's in here somewhere. And then, of course, one of the classic big dance moves, Macarena, words I don't know, Macarena. Words I don't know, Macarena. Words I don't know, Macarena. Macarena. Okay. See, those are the parts we know, but we don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure my mother-in-law knows because she speaks Spanish. So, here we are. Jimmy said, when Nick Nolte picked him up in prison, I was right about prison. All right, Yevy. I was right around prison. And then Crystal said 90s was grunge than pop. Yes, amen. Yeah. And so other songs that had dances to them, like the Achy Breaky. Of course, we were all voguing. That was the thing. Thanks, Madonna. The Humpty Dance. The Humpty Dance is the dance to the hump.
Best story.
Yeah, and speaking of naughty, some naughty lyrics,
No, I was at a drive-in window. I'll try to make it quick. Pick up the food and the it's late at night and they're blasting Humpty in there. Nice. And I look in through the window and I'm like, is that the Humpty Dance? And she's like, yeah, right? And we do the dance. I pull up to the next thing and she says, and she hands me my bag and she goes, this is freaking awesome. Because that's what the song was playing.
No, that was not the Humpty Dance.
No, there was both. I'm saying later.
So they were having a dance party.
Next window.
So they had the Humpty Dance at window 1.
Straight into Macca.
And then they had Thrift Shop on window 2.
Same person too. I don't know. She had to run.
She probably danced the whole way. She's like the Sundrop girl, like boogieing over from one window to the other. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that was a party. Yeah,
that was this year.
Yes, and then Crystal says Los Del Rio. That was Macarena Boys. And then Kat says, "Oh man, sorry I'm late to the party. Been a crazy night. Totally understandable. We're still having fun, and we're having fun to the top of the hour. So I'm glad you joined. Better late than never. Always happy to have you.
Should be able to watch it back too.
Yes, absolutely. So of course, Baby Got Back. We talked about, naughty songs. One of my favorites is when he did it with the Seattle Orchestra. Did you hear how he did that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and those.
He's from Seattle.
And those double bass players.
Yeah.
Like they
were
rocking
loved
that bass line.
like that Seattle put up against the grunge Seattle going on at the same time. That was amazing.
And you can see so many amazing things.
They made Seattle a lot more
and of course,
diverse.
I mentioned the Roxburys. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. And again, a song about love that was very
no
danceable.
More.
Yes, and then Crystal
but
mentions...
Crystal crying
yes,
as you're
right,
dancing to that one. What is love? Yeah.
Are you dancing with tears in your eyes?
Yeah, I
There's
think
a song
so.
called that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Crystal says, Walk This Way, Run DMC brought Aerosmith back to a younger generation. Yep, and a very danceable song as well. Yep, so these are the mix-ups.
And that was like it was pretty much word for word, too, right?
Yeah.
They didn't
there wasn't a
change
big
too many.
change. Yeah, not too much of a change. No. So then, of course,
Respect.
with the dances that we were doing, everybody was doing the typewriter dance, hammer time, where you did the little thing.
I can never pull that
He
one
called
off.
it the typewriter or something because it's like tap, like a
Yeah,
typewriter.
I can never pull it off, and nobody could without those pants. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so it required the pants.
Parachute
Okay,
pants,
I get it.
It would just look weird.
And also the Carlton dance. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. So even though that song came from a long time ago, the Carlton dance was a 90s thing for sure. And of course, Tootsie Roll, we mentioned Tootsie Roll, Crystal did too. Livin' La Vida Loca was a very big dance tune as well, so Ricky Martin had his hand on that. Barbie Girl. Big time dance, and of course, is that about partying? No, it's about Barbie. It's a very is hilariously silly, vapid song, but it was a huge hit. Really catchy.
Like the movie.
One of my favorite jams, though, Tub Thumping, is absolutely about partying. He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a vodka drink. He drinks a cider drink. He drinks. He sings all the. He drinks all those
And then
things.
he gets knocked down because he's all drunk.
But he gets back up again. Yeah. Yes, one of my favorites. So, and then of course, I started the show with Venga Boys. We do like to party. And then No Diggity is another one that was a bit slower jam, but it definitely got people on the dance floor. A little bit of bump and grind. It was a little more bump and grind, like Pony by Genuine. That's the one you were thinking of.
Yeah, the entire dance floor
slow
gets a little
jams.
bit lower.
Yeah, and a little bit naughtier. Yeah, so that's part of the party too. I get it. And Jimmy brings up Zubas. Yes, that was that Zuba style pants with that loosen the crotch, and Hammer just loosened him and loosened him and loosened him.
I had some.
I
had some.
might still have something
group.
around here. I don't know. Of course you did. Did you bring out the cardboard and lay it out?
No, that was the break dancing. This was like kid and play MC.
Hey, all right. So you were doing the kid and play dance.
That kind of stuff.
That
kind of stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Had the pants.
Gotcha. Okay. And then of course I did mention you can't touch this. I mentioned Jump Around by House of Pain as well as Jump by Chris Cross. Chris Cross will make you. And of course, Big Willie style. Will Smith was in Getting Jiggy with It. So very catchy in the 90s. Now in the 2000s, we had a few things change just a bit as you understand. The recording community changed drastically because of the online access. And of course, we have things to blame like YouTube and Spotify that don't pay the artists much of anything, but this is how things go viral, and it's changed the music industry in a very drastic way, but it's also changed the way we get to party music. So the new label for dance music was called EDM, Electronic Dance Music, and YouTube makes these dances viral. So we've got the Cha-Cha Slide, the Cupid Shuffle, Las Ketchup, the Laffy Taffy, Milkshake, brings all my boys to the yard, and then and better than yes. Yeah, I can teach you, but you have to. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not joining on that.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. And then of course I mentioned Lady Gaga. I mentioned it again. Just dance, gonna be okay. And of course Lady Gaga had that. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. And so that was another one. And that's another one.
I'm not gonna try that because I cannot do the.
That one might be slower than All Night Long, but I still feel like I can dance to it. It's got a good beat, and I can dance to it. Yeah. So less so much with All Night Long. Sorry, everyone.
No, I love. Tips is good.
Yeah, and then of course some of the great stars at that time. We had Shakira and Hips Don't Lie, and Beyonce's Crazy in Love. We had Britney and Christina X Tina coming back with You Ain't Here to Party. Dance. And then she's singing Dirty, which I thought was great. Like, she looked a little scary to a lot of people. I didn't care. It was great music. It was fun. I loved it.
Who gives a
exactly.
If she looked a little scary.
And so speaking of we got Lil Jon and Usher and everybody, 50 Cent in the club. Hey, yeah. That gets a lot of people on the dance floor, doesn't it? So Outkast. Yep, and Get Low. So of course Rihanna is a big one too. Pon de Replay was one of my favorites. Everybody loves Please Don't Stop the Music. And both of those are DJ Play the Song. And what does Madonna do right around 2000? Hey, Mr. DJ, put a record on. I want to dance with my baby. So yes, the dancing was continuing on, even in those years. Now, this brings us to a person that happened in the 2000s that I mentioned before. I'm going to mention him again. One of my favorite people, Andrew WK. He has not just some great music that's very uplifting and very positive. He's a keyboard player for the most part. He believes in the power of positivity, and I think it's great. Like, he did seminars for a while. He doesn't just tour with his music. He'll go and speak to college campuses about how to be positive. And he calls it the power of partying.
Yeah.
And so he has the following songs that have party in the title, because the majority of his songs are about partying. He's just that good. Check into him. I'll add him to the playlist if I haven't already. Here they go. Are you ready? Party hard. Party till you puke. It's time to party. Party, party, party. Long live the party. Power of partying. Big party. We party, you shout. Party on your grave. The party god. The party god. So those are just the ones that I found like really quick fire. And then there are others like We Gotta Groove. It's about going to hang out at Santo's party house. So there are other songs about partying that might not have party in the title. Yeah. But that's just a sampling of the ones that do. Yeah.
So, you guys got to check it out. If you don't know Andrew WK.
She's amazing. And like I said, he is...
It's abandoned.
And did you know he's married to the brunette from Two Broke Girls? Kat Dennings. Yeah, and Kat Dennings is in Thor as well. She's the sassy lady. She's the sassy dark-haired girl on Thor. And so, yeah, so they're married, very happily married. That's pretty cool. So now, in the 2010s and 2020s, we have songs and dance styles like Teach Me How to Dougie, Gangnam Style, People Know How to Floss. That's never going anywhere. Skibbity. I've shown you that one, right? That one's really good. Watch Me Whip. Watch Me Nay Nay.
I don't know those. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, that's the thing. Dabbing and twerking and titanium.
I could do all of those in slow-mo, maybe.
And then one of the ones that I like that I never minded, at least, was Shut Up and Dance. Yeah. Yeah. So, Timber, of course, we're bringing Kesha into it. Timber and TikTok. Daft Punk, Get Lucky. Of course, that involves Pharrell Williams. He does Happy. Like, he's been a very good one for bringing party music.
Cross-marketing that into kids' movies.
And you want to talk about one of the great ones, Uptown Funk. Yeah, and we've already mentioned
it's so good.
It is head to toe. It won a Grammy for a reason.
It's so good. It's so overplayed, but
it's worth it. I think it's worth it. So yeah, Crystal says now she's in Shifting Gears with Tim Allen. So she's very, very popular actress. Okay. And then of course some of the other classics from earlier kind of 2010s. Every Time We Touch, Sandstorm. No, nothing. It's an instrumental. There weren't a whole lot of instrumentals that I mentioned, but then of course the latest one that a lot of people are dancing to now is Hot to Go, Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
Pink Pony Club has got a little bit of a laid back beat, but it's still pretty fantastic. So that's my list. If there's anything I forgot, please bring it up. I love to keep the conversation going even when we're not live. So now is the time for me to make the announcement. And I think this hat might be not too bad for the next announcement of the next week's theme that we're going to do. It is Dazed and Confused. We're going to talk about the movie Dazed and Confused. You know how much that I loved when we got to talk about my other movie that I adore, Empire Records. Yeah. This is kind of the 1-2 punch of my favorite ones. Thank you. Darude is the one that did Sandstorm. Yes. Okay. And so we sold that at the record store. I think that's how old it is. But Dazed and Confused.
Like,
it is
really? That's how it's spelled? Darude?
Yeah, Darude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so anyway, we are going to cover Dazed and Confused, everything about the movie. It was directed by Richard Linklater, who is from Texas, who grew up. This is another one of those slice of life, takes place over the course of 24 hours. I don't know why it is I'm drawn to movies like that. Ferris Bueller's Day Off being another one, but this of course has some fantastic music. It had 2 separate soundtracks that came out because that's how much music that was in here. It took them a while to get this out on DVD because of the clearances and rights that they had to go through to get all this. And what's funny is it's named Dazed and Confused. Yeah, okay. It's named Dazed and Confused, like Led Zeppelin song. Right. Led Zeppelin in this entire movie. Yeah. So, but Richard Linklater did have a happy story with Led Zeppelin later because you know what else he directed? School of Rock, the movie that ended up getting Immigrant Song in it. So he did have a win. It just wasn't with this. But this movie, to me, is an absolute win. I think Mila Jovovich is so beautiful in it. I love her with the long hair, just kind of being kind of silly and sweet all at the same time. I love the whole movie, everything about it. And so every May 28th, we watch it because that's when it takes place. It actually shows the date at the very beginning. And it says, May 28th, 1976. And I remember what I was like in 76, celebrating the summer of 200 years, which we're selling 250. Yes, we're old. I get it. So yes, this would have been happening 50 years ago. So if you are local to the area and you want to come over and watch this with me, just send me a private message and we'll talk about having you come over to watch it with us, because I always do it on the day of. And then I highly suggest you all watch it too, because we're going to talk about it on the Tuesday of next week, but I'm going to watch it this week and next week, because that's how much I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll watch it, of course, officially on the 28th itself, which is next Thursday. So next Tuesday we'll talk about it. Next Thursday I will have watched it a second time within the course of a week, because that's just what I do. So we will talk about that. Like I said, the movie, the music, the actors, everything that goes with it, and we're going to have a really good time. We're going to go all 70s, get some 70s vibe, and I think you should join me. If you could join me for that one, that'd be pretty cool. Let's see if we can work that out. That would be great. So thank you so much. I understand, but I do have to thank Evan for being peanut gallerying in this time and having some really good insight and having some really good stories
that was
to tell.
super fun.
Thanks to all of you guys who are commenting. Thanks to all of you who are watching both live and later. I really appreciate you guys doing this. Please tell your friends, like, subscribe. I really do want to try to build the community. I know I've been really busy with Renaissance Festival. I know I've been building Renaissance Festival stuff, and so I'm very busy normally throughout the week, but I'm still wanting to really try to keep this alive and keep it fun so that we can all have really great, fun conversations about pop culture stuff. So next week we'll see you dressed in your best 70s duds. Send me pictures of you dressed in your best 70s duds. I would love to see them, and I'll share the heck out of them. So thanks again, guys, and have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
And I'm going to take this hat off. It's kind of hot, but it's fine. I know, right? Like, it's got
I just want to see you again.
You poor